JCEE Top-Notched Vocabulary. JCEE Top-Notched Vocabulary. By David Pai, 80%. Word list 1. Abate v subside or moderate, aberrant oi abnormal or deviant, abrasive oi rubbing away, tending to grind down, abridge v condense or shorten, absolute oi complete, totally unlimited, certain, abstemious oi sparing in eating and drinking, temperate, abstract oi theoretical, not concrete, non-representational, abstruse oi obscure, profound, difficult to understand, accessible oi easy to approach, obtainable, acclaim v applaud, announce with great approval. Word list 2. Accolade and award of merit, acknowledge v recognize, admit, acquiesce v assent, agree without protesting, acrimonious oi bitter in words and manners, acute oi quickly, perceptive, keen, brief and severe, address v, direct a speech to, deal with or discuss, adherent and supporter, follower, adjacent oi neighboring, adjoining, adroit oi skillful, nimble, adulation and flattery, admiration. Word list 3. Adversary and opponent, adverse oi unfavorable, hostile, advocate v urge, plead for, aesthetic oi artistic, dealing with or capable of appreciation of the beautiful, affable oi easily, approachable, warmly friendly, affinity and natural liking, kinship, similarity, affirmation and positive assertion, confirmation, solemn pledge v one who refuses to take an oath, aggressor and attacker, alienate v make hostile, separate, alleviate v relieve. Word list 4. Aloof oi apart, reserved, standoffish, altruistic oi unselfishly, generous, concerned of others, ambiguous oi unclear or doubtful in meaning, ambivalence and the state of having contradictory or conflicting emotional attitudes, ameliorate v improve, make more satisfactory, amend v correct, change, generally, for the better, amorphous oi formless, lacking shape or definition, ample oi abundant, analogy and similarity, parallelism, anarchist and person who seeks to overturn the established government, advocate of abolishing authority. Word list 5. Anecdote and short account of an amusing or interesting event, animosity and active enmity, antagonistic oi hostile, opposed, antidote and medicine to counteract a poison or disease, antiquated oi old-fashioned, obsolete, antithesis and contrast, direct opposite of or to, apathy and lack of caring, indifference, apocryphal oi untrue, made up, appease v pacify or soothe, relieve, appreciate v be thankful for, increase in worth, be thoroughly conscious of. Word list 6. Apprehension and fear, discernment, capture, arable oi fit for growing crops, arbitrary oi unreasonable or capricious, randomly selected without any reason, based solely on one's unrestricted will or judgment, archaic oi antiquated, ardor and heat, passion, zeal, arid oi dry, barren, arrogance and pride, haughtiness, articulate oi effective, distinct, artifact and object made by human beings, either handmade or mass-produced, artisan and manually skilled worker, craftsman, as opposed to artist. Word list 7. Ascendancy and controlling influence, ascetic oi practicing, self-denial, austere, aspire v seek to attain, long for, assuage v ease or lessen, satisfy, soothe, astute oi wise, shrewd, atrophy v waste away, attentive oi considerate, thoughtful, paying attention, attribute v ascribe, explain, audacious oi daring, bold, augment v increase, add to. Word list 8. Austerity and sternness, severity, strict, economy, lack of luxuries, authentic oi genuine, authoritarian oi favoring or, exercising total control, non-democratic, autonomous oi self-governing, aversion and firm dislike, banal oi hackneyed, commonplace, trite, bane and cause of ruin, belie contradict, give a false impression, belittle disparage, make fun, of, belligerent oi quarrelsome, word list 9, benevolent oi generous, charitable, benign oi kindly, favorable, not malignant, bequeath leave to someone by a will, hand down, biased oi slanted, prejudiced, bland oi soothing, mild, dull, blasphemy and irreverence, sacrilege, cursing, bolster support, reinforce, braggart and boastful person, brawn and muscular strength, sturdiness, brevity and conciseness, briefness, word list 10, buttress support, prop up, cacophonous oi discordant, inharmonious, cajole coax, wheedle, calculated oi deliberately, planned, likely, candor and frankness, capricious oi fickle, incalculable, caricature and distortion, burlesque, censorious oi critical, censure blame, criticize, certitude and certainty, word list 11, charlatan and quack, pretender to, knowledge, chronicle report, record, civil oi having to do with citizens or the state, courteous and, polite, clamor and noise, clemency and disposition to be lenient, mildness, as of the weather, coercion and use of force to get someone's, compliance, commemorate honor the memory of, compelling oi overpowering, irresistible in effect, compile assemble, gather, accumulate, compliance and readiness to yield, conformity in, fulfilling requirements, word list 12, composure and mental calmness, comprehensive oi thorough, inclusive, concede admit, yield, conciliatory oi reconciling, appeasing, amiable, concise oi brief and compact, conclusive oi convincing, decisive, concur agree in opinion, condone overlook voluntarily, forgive, confirm corroborate, verify, support, conflagration and great fire, word list 13, confound confuse, puzzle, confront face, challenge, conscientious oi scrupulous, careful, consensus and general agreement, consistency and absence of contradictions, dependability, uniformity, degree of thickness, constraint and compulsion, repression of, feelings, contagion and infection, contemporary and person belonging to the, same period, contend struggle, compete, assert earnestly, contentious oi quarrelsome, word list 14, contract compress or shrink, make a pledge, catch a disease, converge approach, tend to meet, come together, conviction and strongly held belief, cordial oi gracious, heartfelt, corroborate confirm, support, corrosion and destruction by chemical, action, credibility and believability, credulity and belief on slight evidence, gullibility, naivete, criterion and standard used in judging, cryptic oi mysterious, hidden, secret, word list 15, cursory oi casual, hastily done, curtail shorten, reduce, cynic and one who is skeptical or, distrustful of human motives, daunt intimidate, frighten, dawdle loiter, waste time, debilitate weaken, enfeeble, debunk expose something as nonsensical or false, decorum and propriety, defame harm someone's reputation, malign, deference and courteous regard for, another's wish, word list 16, defiance and refusal to yield, resistance, degenerate become worse, deteriorate, degrade lower in rank or dignity, debase, deliberate v consider, ponder, delineate v portray, depict. Sketch, denounce v condemn, criticize, deny v contradict, refuse, depict v portray, describe, deplore v regret strongly. Express grief over, depravity and corruption. Wickedness, word list 17, deprecate v express disapproval, of, protest against, belittle, deride v ridicule, make fun of, derivative oi unoriginal, derived, from another source, despondent oi depressed. Gloomy, despot and tyrant, harsh. Authoritarian ruler, detached oi emotionally, removed, calm and objective, indifferent, deterrent and something that discourages, hindrance, detrimental oi harmful, demagging, devious oi. Roundabout, erratic, not straightforward, devise v think up, invent, plan. Word list 18, didactic oi teaching. Instructional, diffuse adjective. Wordy, rambling, spread out, digression and wandering away from the subject, diligence and steadiness of effort. Persistent hard work, diminution and lessening, reduction in size, disband v dissolve, disperse, discerning oi mentally, quick and observant, having insight, disclose v, reveal, discordant oi not harmonious. Conflicting, discount v disregard, word list 19, discredit v, defame. Destroy confidence in, disbelieve, discrepancy and lack of consistency. Differences, discriminating oi able to see, differences, prejudiced, discursive oi digressing. Rambling, disdain v view with scorn or contempt, disinclination and unwillingness, disinterested oi unprejudiced, dismantle v take apart, dismiss v put away from, consideration, reject, disparage v belittle, word list 20, disparity and difference, dispassionate oi calm, impartial, dispel v drive away, scatter, cause, to vanish, disperse v cause to break up. Scatter, disputatious adjective argumentative, fond of arguing, disseminate v distribute. Spread, scatter, dissent v disagree, dissipate v squander. Waste, scatter, dissonance and discord, dissuade v, advise against, word list 21, distant oi reserved or aloof. Cold in manner, divergent oi differing, deviating, diverse oi differing in, some characteristics, various, divulge v reveal, doctrine and teachings, in general, particular principle taught, document v, provide, written evidence, dogmatic oi. Opinionated, arbitrary, doctrinal, dormant oi sleeping. Lethargic, latent, dubious oi doubtful. Questionable, duplicity and double dealing. Hypocrisy, word list 22, duration and length of time something, lasts, dutiful oi respectful, obedient, ebb v recede, lessen, eccentric oi odd, whimsical. Irregular, eclectic oi selective in, choosing from a variety of sources, eclipse v, darken. Extinguish, surpass, effervescent oi exuberant. Bubbly and excited, egotistical oi excessively, self-centered, self-important, conceited, elated oi. Overjoyed. In high spirits, eloquence and expressiveness. Persuasive speech, word list 23, elusive oi evasive. Baffling, hard to grasp, embellish v adorn, ornament, emulate v imitate, rival, endorse v approve, support, enduring oi lasting, surviving, enervate v weaken, engender v cause. Produce, enhance v advance, improve, enigma and puzzle, mystery, enmity and ill will, hatred, word list 24, enumerate v list, mention one by one, ephemeral oi short-lived, epic n. Long heroic poem, or similar work of art, epicure and connoisseur of food and drink, episodic oi loosely connected, divided into incidents, occurring at intervals, equanimity and calmness of, temperament, composure, equivocal oi ambiguous, intentionally misleading, erratic oi odd, unpredictable, wandering, erroneous oi mistaken, wrong, erudite oi learned, scholarly, word list 25, esoteric oi hard to understand, known only to the chosen few, espouse v adopt, support, esteem v respect, value, judge, ethereal oi light, heavenly, unusually refined, eulogy and expression of praise, often on the occasion of someone's death, euphemism and mild expression, used in place of an unpleasant one, euphonious oi pleasing in sound, euphoria and feeling of great happiness and well-being, evanescent oi fleeting, vanishing, exacerbate v worsen, embitter, word list 26, exacting oi extremely demanding, exalt v raise in rank or dignity, praise, execute v put into effect, carry out, exemplary oi serving as a model, outstanding, exemplify v, serve as an example of, embody, exhaustive oi thorough, comprehensive, exhilarating oi, invigorating and refreshing, cheering, exonerate v acquit, exculpate, expedient oi suitable to achieve a particular end, practical, politic, expedite v hasten, word list 27, expertise and specialized, knowledge, expert skill, explicit oi totally, clear, definite, outspoken, exploit and deed or action, particularly a brave deed, exploit v make use of, sometimes, unjustly, expository oi explanatory, intended to explain, extant oi still in existence, extol v praise, glorify, extraneous oi, comma, not essential, superfluous, extricate v free, disentangle, exuberance and overflowing abundance, joyful, enthusiasm, flamboyance, lavishness, word list 28, facile oi easily, accomplished, ready or fluent, superficial, facilitate v help bring about, make, less difficult, fallacious oi false, misleading, fanaticism and excessive zeal, extreme devotion to a brief or cause, fastidious oi difficult to please, squeamish, feasible oi practical, fervor and glowing ardor, intensity of feeling, fickle oi changeable, faithless, figurative oi not literal, but metaphorical, using a figure of speech, flagrant oi conspicuously wicked, blatant, outrageous, word list 29, flippant oi lacking proper, seriousness, Florida oi ruddy, reddish, flowery, fluctuate v waver, shift, foolhardy oi rash, heedless, foresight and ability to foresee, future happenings, prudence, forestall v prevent by taking action in advance, forsake v desert, abandon, renounce, forthright oi outspoken, frank, fortuitous oi accidental, by chance, foster v rear, encourage, nurture, word list 30, founder v fail completely, sink, founder and person who establishes, frail oi weak, frivolous oi lacking in seriousness, self-indulgently carefree, relatively unimportant, frugality and thrift, economy, fundamental v basic, primary, essential, furtive oi stealthy, sneaky, futile oi ineffective, fruitless, galvanize v stimulate by shock, stir up, revitalize, garbled oi mixed up, jumbled, distorted, word list 31, garrulous oi loquacious, wordy, talkative, genre and particular variety of, art or literature, germain oi. Pertinent, bearing upon the case at hand, glacial oi like a glacier. Extremely cold, glib oi fluent. Facile, slick, glutton and someone who eats too much, greedy person, gorge and small, stalwart canyon, grandiosa oi pretentious, high-flown, ridiculously exaggerated. Impressive, gratify v please, gratuitous oi given freely. Unwarranted, unprovoked, word list 32, gravity and seriousness, gregarious oi sociable, grievance and cause of complaint, grudging oi unwilling. Reluctant, stingy, guile and deceit, duplicity, wheeliness. Cunning, gullible oi easily deceived, hackneyed oi commonplace, trite, hallowed oi blessed. Consecrated, hamper v obstruct, harass v annoy by repeated, attack, torment, word list 33, hardy oi. Sturdy, robust, able to stand inclement weather, haughtiness and pride, arrogance, hedonist and one who believes that pleasure is the sole aim in life, heed v pay attention to, consider, heresy and opinion contrary to popular belief, opinion contrary to, accepted religion, heterodox oi unorthodox. Unconventional, heterogeneous oi. Dissimilar, mixed, heyday and time of, greatest success, prime, hiatus and gap, interruption in, duration or continuity, hierarchy and arrangement by rank or standing. Authoritarian body divided into ranks, word list 34, hindrance and block, obstacle, hoard v stockpile, accumulate for, future use, homogeneous oi of the same, kind, hone v sharpen, hostility and unfriendliness, hatred, humana oi marked by kindness, or consideration, husband v use sparingly, conserve. Save, hyperbole and exaggeration. Overstatement, hypocritical oi pretending to be, virtuous, deceiving, hypothetical oi based on, assumptions or hypotheses, supposed, word list 35, iconoclast and one who, attacks cherished traditions, idiosyncrasy and individual trait, usually odd in, nature, eccentricity, ignominy and deep disgrace, shame or, dishonor, illicit oi illegal, illuminate v brighten, clear up or, make understandable, enlighten, illusory oi deceptive, not, real, imbalance and lack of balance or, symmetry, disproportion, immaculate oi, spotless, flawless, absolutely clean, immune oi resistant to, free or exempt from, immutable oi unchangeable, word list 36, impair v injure, hurt, impartial oi not biased, fair, impassive oi without, feeling, imperturbable, stoical, impeccable oi faultless, impecunious oi without, money. Impede v hinder, block, delay, impel v drive or force onward, imperceptible oi unnoticeable, undetectable, imperious oi domineering, haughty, impervious oi, impenetrable, incapable of being, damaged or distressed, word list 37, impetuous oi violent, hasty, rash, implausible oi, unlikely, unbelievable, implement v, put into, effect, supply with tools, implication and something hinted at or, suggested, implicit oi understood but not, stated, impoverished oi poor, impromptu oi without previous preparation, off the cuff, on the, spur of the moment, imprudence and impertinence. Insolence, inadvertently adv by oversight, carelessly, or unintentionally, inane oi silly, senseless, word list 38, inaugurate v start, initiate, install in, office, incense v, enrage, infuriate, incentive and spur, motive, incessant aoi uninterrupted, unceasing, incidental aoi not essential. Minor, incisive aoi cutting, sharp, incite v arouse to action. Goad, motivate, induce to exist, incline and slope, slant, inclined aoi tending or learning, toward, bent, inclusive adjective tending to, include all. Word list 39. Incoherent aoi. Unintelligible, muddled, illogical, incongruous aoi not fitting. Absurd, inconsequential aoi insignificant. Unimportant, incontrovertible aoi, indisputable, not open to question, incorrigible aoi, uncorrectable, indefatigable aoi tireless, indite v charge, indifferent aoi unmoved. Lacking concern, indigenous aoi native, indigent aoi poor, destitute. Word list 40. Indiscriminate aoi choosing at random, confused, indolent aoi lazy, indomitable aoi. Unconquerable, unyielding, indubitable aoi persuade. Bring about, induce v persuade, bring about, indulge v humor, treat leniently, industrious aoi diligent. Hardworking, ineffectual aoi not effective, weak, inept aoi unsuited, absurd, incompetent, inequity and unfairness. Word list 41. Inert aoi inactive. Lacking power to move, inexorable aoi relentless. Unyielding, implacable, infamous aoi notoriously bad, infer v deduce, conclude, infiltrate v pass into or through. Penetrate sneakily, infinitesimal aoi exceedingly small, so small as to be almost non-existent, infraction and violation, breach, ingenious aoi clever. Resourceful, ingrate and ungrateful person, inherent aoi firmly, established by nature or habit, intrinsic. Word list 42. Inimical aoi. Unfriendly, hostile, harmful, detrimental, initiate v, begin. Originate, receive into a group, injurious aoi harmful, innate aoi inborn, innocuous aoi harmless, innovation and change, introduction of, something new, inopportune aoi untimely. Poorly chosen, insatiable aoi not easily, satisfied, greedy, insightful aoi. Discerning, perspective, insinuate v hint, imply. Creep in. Word list 43. Insipid aoi lacking in favor. Dull, insolvent aoi bankrupt. Unable to repay one's debts, instigate v urge, start, provoke, insularity n. Narrow-mindedness, isolation, insuperable aoi, insurmountable, unbeatable, insurgent aoi rebellious, intangible aoi not material, not able to be perceived by touch, integral aoi, complete, necessary for completeness, integrity n. Uprightness. Wholeness, intermittent aoi periodic, on, and off. Word list 44. Intervene v come between, intimidate v frighten, intractable aoi unruly, stubborn. Unyielding, intransigence and refusal of any compromise, stubbornness, intrepid aoi fearless, intricate aoi complex. Knotty, tangled, intrinsic aoi essential. Inherent, built-in, natural, introspective aoi looking within, oneself, intuition and immediate insight, power, of knowing without reasoning, inundate v overwhelm, flood. Submerge. Word list 45. Invert v turn upside, down or inside out. Irascible aoi irritable, easily angered, ironic aoi relating to a contradiction between an event's expected result and its actually outcome, irrational aoi, illogical, lacking reason, insane, irrelevant aoi not applicable. Unrelated, irreproachable aoi blameless. Impeccable, irresolute aoi uncertain, how to act, weak, irreverence and lack of proper respect, jargon and language used by a special group, technical terminology. Gibberish, jocular oi said or done in jest, joking. Word list 46. Judicious oi sound in judgment. Wise, justification and good or just, reason, defense, excuse. Kindle v start a fire, inspire. Labyrinth and maze, laconica oi brief and to the point. Lament v, grieve, express sorrow. Lassitude and languor, weariness. Laud v praise, lavisha oi liberal. Wasteful, legacy and a gift made by a will. Word list 47. Lethargica oi drowsy, dull. Levity and lack of seriousness. Lightness, linger v loiter or dawdle. Continue or persist. List v tilt, lean over. Listlessness and lack in spirit or energy. Loath v detest. Lofty oi very high. Loquacious oi talkative. Lucid oi easily understood, intelligible. Lurid oi wild, sensational. Graphic, gruesome. Word list 48. Magnanimous oi generous. Magnate and person of prominence or influence. Maladroit oi clumsy, bungling. Malevolent oi wishing evil. Malice and hatred, spite. Malign v speak evil of, bad mouth. Defame, marred adjective damaged disfigured. Martinet and rigid, disciplinarian. Strict military officer. Materialism and preoccupation with physical comforts and things. Meager oi scanty, inadequate. Word list 49. Meander v wind or turn in a course. Medley and mixture. Mika oi quiet and obedient. Melancholia oi gloomy, morose. Blue, mercenary oi interested in money or gain. Mercurial oi capricious, changing. Fickle, merger and combination. Methodical oi systematic. Meticulous oi excessively careful. Painstaking, scrupulous. Minute oi extremely small. Word list 50. Misanthrope and one who hates mankind. Miserly oi stingy, mean. Misnomer and wrong name, incorrect. Designation, mitigate v appease. Moderate, mock v ridicule. Imitate, often in derision. Mollify v soothe. Momentous oi very important. Monotony and sameness leading to boredom. Morbid oi given to unwholesome thought. Moody. Characteristic of disease. Morose oi ill-humored. Sullen, melancholy. Word list 51. Mundane oi worldly as, opposed to spiritual. Munificent oi very generous. Mutability and ability to change in form. Fickleness. Muted oi silent, muffled. Toned down. Naivete and quality of being unsophisticated. Simplicity, artlessness. Gullibility. Nefarious oi very wicked. Negate v cancel out. Nullify, deny. Nonchalance and indifference. Lack of concern. Composure. Nonentity and person. Of no importance. Non-existence. Nostalgia and homesickness. Longing for the past. Word list 52. Notoriety and disrepute. Ill fame. Novelty and something new. Newness. Novice and beginner. Nuance and shade of difference in meaning or color. Nullify v to make invalid. Void. Abolish. Nurture v nourish. Educate. Foster. Obdurate oi stubborn. Objective oi not. Influenced by emotions. Fair. Objective and goal. Aim. Obliterate v destroy completely. Word list 53. Oblivion and obscurity. Forgetfulness. Oblivious oi inattentive or unmindful. Wholly absorbed. Obscura oi dark. Vague. Unclear. Obscure v darken. Make unclear. Obsequious oi slavishly attentive. Servile. Fawning. Sycophantic. Obsessive oi related to thinking about something constantly. Preoccupying. Obstinate oi stubborn. Hard to control or treat. Obtuse oi blunt. Stupid. Officious oi meddlesome. Excessively pushy in offering one's service. ominous oi threatening. Word list 54. Opaque oi dark, not transparent. Opportunist an individual who sacrifices principles for expediency by taking advantage of circumstances. Optimist an person who looks on the good side. Optional oi not compulsory, left to one's choice. Opulence and extreme wealth. Luxuriousness, abundance. Orator and public speaker. Ornate oi, excessively or elaborately decorated. Ostentatious oi showy, pretentious, trying to attract attention. Pacifist and one opposed to force. Anti-militarist, painstaking oi showing hard work, taking great care. Word list 55. Paltry oi insignificant. Petty, trifling. Paradigm and model, example. Pattern, paradox and something apparently contradictory in nature. Statement that looks false but actually correct. Paragon and model of perfection. Parochial oi narrow in outlook. Provincial, related to parishes. Parody and humorous imitation, spoof. Take off, travesty. Parry v ward off a blow, deflect. Parsimony and stinginess, excessive. Frugality, partial oi incomplete. Having a liking for something. Partisan oi one-sided. Prejudiced, committed to a party. Word list 56. Passive oi not active, acted upon. Paucity and scarcity, lack. Pedantic oi showing off. Learning, bookish. Penchant and strong inclination, liking. Pensive oi dreamily, thoughtful, thoughtful with a hint of sadness. Contemplative, perceptive oi insightful. Aware, wise. Perfunctory oi superficial, not thorough, lacking interest, care, or enthusiasm. Peripheral oi marginal, outer. Perjury and false testimony while under oath. Pernicious oi very destructive. Word list 57. Perpetuate v make something last. Preserve from extinction. Perturb v disturb greatly. Pervasive oi pervading. Spread throughout every part. Pessimism and belief that life is basically bad or evil. Gloominess. Petty oi trivial, unimportant. Very small. Petulant oi touchy, peevish. Phenomena NPL observable facts. Subjects of scientific investigation. Philanthropist and lover of mankind. Doer of good, pious oi devout, religious. Pitfall and hidden danger, concealed, trap. Word list 58. Pithy oi concise. Meaningful, substantial, meaty. Pivotal oi crucial, key, vital. Placate v pacify, conciliate. Plagiarize v steal another's ideas and pass them off as one's own. Platitude and trite remark. Commonplace statement. Plausible oi having a show of truth but open to doubt. Specious. Pliant oi, flexible, easily influenced. Plight and condition, state, predicament. Poignancy and quality of being deeply moving. Keenness of emotion. Polemical oi aggressive in verbal attack. Disputatious. Word list 59. Pomposity and self-important behavior. Acting like a stuffed shirt. Ponderous oi weighty, unwieldy. Porous oi full of pores, like a sieve. Potent oi powerful. Persuasive, greatly influential. Pragmatic oi practical, concerned with the practical worth or impact of something. Prattle v babble. Precarious oi uncertain, risky. Precedent and something preceding in time that may be used as an authority or guide for future action. Precipitate oi rash. Premature, hasty, sudden. Precipitous oi steep, over hasty. Word list 60. Preclude v make impossible. Eliminate. Precocious oi advanced in development. Predator and creature that seizes and devours another animal, person, who robs or exploits others. Predecessor and former occupant of a post. Predilection and partiality, preference. Preposterous oi absurd, ridiculous. prestige and impression produced by achievements or reputation, presumptuous oi overconfident, impertinently bold, taking liberties, pretentious oi ostentatious, pompous, making unjustified claims, overambitious, prevalent oi widespread, generally accepted. Word list 61. Problematic oi doubtful, unsettled, proclivity and inclination, natural, tendency, procrastinate v postpone, delay or put off, prodigal oi wasteful, reckless, with money, prodigious oi marvelous, enormous, prodigy and marvel, highly gifted child, profane v violate, desecrate, treat, unworthily, profligate oi, dissipated, wasteful, wildly immoral, profound oi deep, not, superficial, complete, profusion and overabundance, lavish, expenditure, excess. Word list 62. Proliferation and rapid growth, spread. Multiplication, prolifica oi abundantly fruitful, prologue and introduction, prophetica oi foretelling the future, propitious oi favorable, fortunate. Advantageous, propriety and fitness, correct conduct, prosaica oi dull and unimaginative, matter of fact, factual, protract v prolong, provincial adjective pertaining to a province, limited in outlook. Unsophisticated, provisional oi tentative. Word list 63. Provocative oi arousing anger or interest, annoying, proximity and nearness, prudent oi cautious, careful, pugnacity and combativeness, disposition to fight, pungent oi stinging, sharp in taste or smell, purse v pucker, contract into, wrinkles, qualified oi limited, restricted, quandary and dilemma, quell v extinguish, put down, quiet, querulous oi fretful, whining. Word list 64. Quiescent oi it, test, dormant, temporarily inactive, ramble v wander aimlessly, rancor and bitterness, hatred, rant v rave, talk excitedly, scold, make a grandiloquent speech, ratify v approve formally, verify, raucous oi harsh and shrill, disorderly and boisterous, raise v destroy completely, rebuttal and refutation, response with contrary evidence, recalcitrant oi obstinately stubborn, determined to resist authority, unruly, recant v disclaim or disavow, retract a previous statement, openly confess error. Word list 65. Receptive oi quick or willing to receive ideas, suggestions, etc. Recluse and hermit, loner, recount v narrate or tell, count over, again, rectify v set right, correct, redundant oi superfluous, repetitious, excessively wordy, refute v disprove, relegate v, banish to an inferior position, delegate, assign, relevant oi pertinent, referring to the case in hand, relinquish v give up something with, reluctance, yield, relish v savor, enjoy. Word list 66. Remorse and guilt, self-reproach, renegade and deserter, traitor, renounce v forswear, repudiate, abandon, discontinue, repel v drive away, disgust, replete oi filled to the brim or to the point of being stuffed, abundantly supplied, reprehensible oi deserving blame, repress v restrain, hold back, crush, suppress, reprimand v reprove severely, rebuke, reproach v express disapproval, reprove v censure, rebuke. Word list 67. Repudiate v disown, disavow, rescind v cancel, reserve and self-control, formal but distant manner, resigned oi, unresisting, patiently submissive, resolution and determination, resolve, resolve and determination, firmness of purpose, resolve v decide, settle, solve, respite and interval of relief, time, for rest, delay in punishment, resplendent oi dazzling, glorious, brilliant, restraint and controlling force, control over one's emotions. Word list 68, reticent oi reserved, uncommunicative, inclined to be silent, retiring oi modest, shy, retract v withdraw, take back, reverent oi respectful, rhetorical oi pertaining to effective communication, insincere in language, rigorous oi severe, harsh, demanding, exact, robust oi vigorous, strong, rudimentary oi not, developed, elementary, crude, ruthless oi pitiless, cruel, sagacious oi, perspective, shrewd, having insight. Word list 69, sage and person celebrated for wisdom, sanction v approve, ratify, sanctuary and refuge, shelter, shrine, holy place, sarcasm and scornful remarks, stinging, rebuke, satirical oi mocking, saturate v soak thoroughly, savory oi tasty, pleasing, attractive, or agreeable, scanty oi meager, insufficient, scrupulous oi, conscientious, extremely thorough, scrutinize v examine closely and critically. Word list 70, seclusion and isolation, solitude, sectarian oi relating to a religious faction or subgroup, narrow-minded, limited, sedentary oi requiring sitting, sequester v isolate, retire from public life, segregate, seclude, serenity and calmness, placidity, servile oi slavishly, submissive, fawning, cringing, sever v cut, separate, severity and harshness, intensity, austerity, rigidity, shrewd oi clever, astute, singular oi unique, extraordinary. Word list 71, skeptical oi doubting, suspending judgment until one has examined the evidence supporting a point of view, slacken v slow up, loosen, slander and defamation, utterance of false and malicious statements, slothful oi lazy, sluggish oi slow, lazy, lethargic, solemnity and seriousness, gravity, solicit v request earnestly, seek, solitude and state of being alone, seclusion, soluble oi able to be, dissolved, able to be explained, somber oi, gloomy, depressing, dark, drab. Word list 72, sparse oi not thick, thinly, scattered, scanty, spendthrift and someone who wastes money, spontaneity and lack of, premeditation, naturalness, sporadic oi occurring irregularly, spurious oi false, counterfeit, spurn v reject, scorn, squalor and filth, degradation, dirty, neglected state, squander v waste, stagnant oi motionless, stale, dull, stanza and division of a poem. Word list 73, statica oi unchanging, lacking, development, steadfasta oi loyal, unswerving, stoica oi impassive, unmoved by joy or grief, strident oi loud and harsh, insistent, strut and pompous, walk, swagger, stupefy v make numb, stun, amaze, subdued oi less intense, quieter, submissive oi yielding, timid, subordinate oi occupying a lower rank, inferior, submissive, subside v still down, descend, grow quiet. Word list 74, substantial adjective ample, solid, substantiate v establish by evidence, verify, support, subtlety and perceptiveness, ingenuity, delicacy, succinct adjective brief, terse, compact, supercilious adjective, arrogant, condescending, patronizing, superficial oi trivial, shallow, superfluous adjective, excessive, overabundant, unnecessary, supplant v replace, usurp, suppress v crush, subdue, inhibit, surmount v overcome. Word list 75. Surpass v exceed, surreptitious adjective secret, furtive, sneaky, hidden, susceptible impressionable, easily influenced, having little resistance, as to a disease. Receptive to, sustain v experience, support. Nourish, swindler and cheat, sycophant and servile, flatterer, bootlicker, yes man, symmetry and arrangement of parts so that balance is obtained, congruity, taciturn habitually silent, talking, little, taint v contaminate, cause to lose purity, modify with a trace of, something bad, tangential peripheral, only slightly connected, digressing. Word list 76. Tangible able to be, touched, tantamount adjective. Equivalent in effect or value, tedious boring, tiring, temper v. Moderate, tone down or restrain, toughen, tenacity and firmness, persistence, tentative provisional, experimental, doubtful, termination and end, terse concise, abrupt. Pithy, threadbare adjective worn through, till the threads show, shabby and poor, thrive v prosper, flourish. Word list 77. Tirade n. Extended scolding, denunciation. Harangue, torpor and lethargy. Sluggishness, dormancy, tractable docile, easily, managed, tranquility and calmness, peace, transcendent surpassing. Exceeding ordinary limits, superior, transient momentary. Temporary, staying for a short time, transparent easily detected, permitting light to pass through, freely, trepidation and fear, nervous, apprehension, trifling trivial. Unimportant, trite hackneyed. Commonplace. Word list 78. Trivial unimportant. Trifling, turbulence and state of violent agitation, turmoil and great commotion and confusion, tyranny and oppression, cruel, government, undermine v weaken. Sap, uniformity and sameness, monotony, universal characterizing or affecting all, unkempt disheveled, uncared for in appearance, unprecedented novel. Unparalleled, unwarranted unjustified, groundless, undeserved. Word list 79. Usurp v seize another's power or rank, vacillate v waver, fluctuate, venerate v revere, veracity and truthfulness, verbosa wordy, viable practical or workable, capable of, maintaining life, vigor and active strength, vilify v slander, vindicate v. Clear from, blame, exonerate, justify or support, vindictive out for revenge. Malicious. Word list 80. Virtuoso and highly skilled, artist, virulent comma. Extremely poisonous, hostile, bitter, volatile changeable, explosive, evaporating, rapidly, voluble fluent, glib, talkative, voluminous bulky, large, vulnerable susceptible to, wounds, whimsical capricious. Fanciful, willful intentional, headstrong, stubbornly set on going one's way, withhold v refuse to give, hold back, zealot and fanatic, person who shows excessive zeal. JCEE top-notched vocabulary. JCEE